hundreds, maybe thousands of fires roiled and licked the sky in the hour before dawn. Just over the horizon, well before the sun, the clouds were red and hot. That would have been every refinery on the Delaware River on fire. The same for a dimmer glow over Philadelphia. Baltimore came and went. He didn't look. The HH-3E Jolly Green Giant was pushing 140 knots. The pilot was Bud Gallagher, a Strategic Air Command officer and squadron commander of the 2857th Test Squadron, called, though very few people knew it, Outpost Mission. The co-pilot, we don't know his name, was almost blind with the glass shielding his eyes, in case of another blast. It was protocol, but it probably wasn't necessary. The Soviet Union was already dead. But then, so were they. So it goes. Washington, D.C. was not on fire. It was a black hole on the horizon. The fires had been burned out or blown out by the bombs that had ruined the capital. Maybe there was just nothing left to burn now. There was smoke. The helicopter came in low, the pattern of the streets well defined in the rubble, like those pictures of Hiroshima, because the sun was somewhere just over the edge of the Atlantic now, and that first horrible morning was coming. That's why he could see. That's why it was easy to find the White House. Bud Gallagher said, "Get ready." And that was all he said. His co-pilot was crying. He couldn't be very useful. Behind them, and close to the right, was a second Jolly Green Giant. They would secure the perimeter, in theory and in their many rehearsals, but no one really knew what they would secure it against, now that it had all happened. Outpost 1 landed on the south lawn, but the debris from the White House itself, which had become tangled sticks, left no room for Outpost 2, which was forced 1,000 feet south to the ellipse. Radio contact was broken, but there were voices there on the outpost frequencies. The president was alive. Bud Gallagher ignored the fact that his co-pilot was, at least for the moment, useless. Outpost 2 was already at the E Street fence, cutting in with acetylene torches. Much of the granite around them still stood, like bones, gutted and burned, but standing. The president had escaped from the Presidential Emergency Operations Center, a bunker under the East Wing, through Roosevelt's tunnel into the Treasury Building, a much sturdier structure that morning as it had been in World War II. Bud Gallagher and Outpost 2 would clear a path to the front entrance of the Treasury building and evacuate the president. That, now, was their sole purpose in life. Each member of the team wore a special nuclear, biological, and chemical suit impregnated with lead dust. The breathing apparatus and suit weighed 20 pounds. If they worked together, as they were supposed to, it wouldn't be any particular burden to lift the president to the waiting helicopter. Bud started to run. Every minute on the ground he could count in years off his life. They wouldn't have to worry about the family, Jack Jr. or Caroline. Jacqueline had been dragged, kicking and screaming, very much against her wishes from the White House the day before, evacuated to Pennsylvania. And so he carried just one more suit. The Secret Service, the others. They knew that there was nothing left for them after this. There was no exit from the wreckage of the White House, but the Secret Service had fought their way up from the sub-basement of the Treasury building, through broken glass and fallen ceilings, to the front entrance. Outpost 1 and 2 converged there. The president was bloody and slouched in the arms of one of his agents. The man said, "The ceiling caved in." And we don't know his name either, though historians believe that it was Secret Service agent Clint Hill. Because Agent Hill was on the First Lady's detail, would he have been found with the president that morning? Or would he have gone with her when she was taken to Raven Rock in Pennsylvania? This is one of those things that we might imagine in some alternate timeline, but can never really know. The background that makes all the difference gets lost, because the details fade away. It's one of the many ways that alternate history fails to deliver, in the impossible infinity of detail, and in full color. But he was the only Secret Service agent who made it to the president's car in Dallas in November 1963. So maybe there is some poetry in history, and Clint Hill was always doomed to somehow not be able to save President Kennedy. Without more than muffled words between the men, the president was covered in the spare radiation suit, with no time to dress him properly. The group carried him back across East Executive Avenue to the South Lawn. The Outpost 1 co-pilot had gone missing. Outpost 2's pilot took the seat, and the co-pilot jogged south to the ellipse to bring the second helicopter in formation behind. The president had been injured by the falling debris in the first blast, though at least 4 nuclear weapons fell on Washington. His breathing was labored. Blood filled his lungs. But there was nothing to be done. The 35th President of the United States, John Fitzgerald Kennedy, expired somewhere over rural Pennsylvania at 8:05 a.m. on the 1st of November, 1962.